Mastro. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Vastu Creations. Today we're going to look at the chart of famous country western singer Shania Twain. If you look to the eastern horizon when she was born, you would see the constellation associated with Sagittarius rising at 4 degrees and 50 minutes. Any planets like Jupiter that are within 5 degrees of that rising sign degree have a lot of impact in the chart. If we want to see what she's working on in this lifetime, we will look to the Multicona signs, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 11. You see the first sign of Aries, ruled by Mars, in the 5th house of entertainment. And you see the fourth sign of Cancer, ruled by Moon, in the 8th house of setbacks and illness. We see the 5th sign of Leo, ruled by Sun, in the 9th house of good fortune. We see the 6th sign of Virgo in the 10th house, ruled by Mercury, working on our career. And then we have the 7th sign of Libra, ruled by Venus in the income house. And we have the 9th sign of Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter in the 1st house. The 11th sign of Saturn, of Aquarius, ruled by Saturn in the house of success, entrepreneurial success. So let's see how these planets are operating, and then we'll look and see when they're operating and at different points in her life, and then we'll talk about what remedies would be good for this chart. So her sun is at 11 degrees, and it is ruling again the 9th house, and it's sitting in its own sign. So this is one of her strongest planets. So it gives her good fortune through being able to be a leader in her field of country western and pop singing. And she did get, early on, she got support from her father. He bought her a great guitar and taught her some chords when she was very young. Then we look at the moon. Moon is weak and it's functional malefic. Any Multicona sign in the Dustana or challenging houses at the 6th house, the 8th house, or the 12th house become functional malefics, along with Rahu and Ketu. So Moon is ruling this house of challenges, and it's sitting in her career house. So she did have some setbacks early on in her career, and also had a very challenging disease, the Lyme's disease. And then let's look at, and Moon also represents heart and the immune system. And so all of those are related to a weak Moon. She was very shy at a young age. And this 8th house also has to do with research. So during her career, she researched a lot of different personas in her music videos that helped make her very famous and successful. So Mars is also weak. Its landlord or dispositor is weak, so it's at 11 degrees, and it gives her income through entertainment and gives her a lot of passion and creativity to be able to write the songs that she wrote, the hit songs. Let's look at Mercury is also weak at 25 degrees because it's placed in the challenging house, the 8th house, and it gives her career through singing, but also affected her nervous system and the fact that she became dizzy on stage, as well as nervous system issues. And then we're going to look at a weak infant Jupiter at 3 degrees. Any planet that's less than 5 degrees or greater than 25 has trouble promoting its own significations. So Jupiter's ruling the first house, and the prime indicator of health is indicated by a Multicono sign in the first house or the sixth house. And so Jupiter becomes the prime indicator for her health. In fact, because it's part of it, because it's weak, it affects the liver, gallbladder, and hips, and definitely affected her Lyme's disease, lesions on her vocal cord, and dysphonia. And then let's look at Venus. Also, it has a weak landlord or dispositor of Mercury, and it's afflicted by Rahu, and so it gives her income. It ruling the house of income, sitting in the career house, so it gives her income through performing, and it gives her great beauty. Saturn is at 21 degrees and gives her great success, performing success through hard work and discipline. And she did have a tough, difficult childhood. Her parents died when she was very young. That's part of also the moon, not lack of support from mother because she died, and left her to take care of her brothers. She had to work at many jobs to support the family. And then functional malefic Rahu and Ketu. They're at 16 degrees, and the 12th house, Ketu sitting in the 12th house, which has to do with spiritual growth through letting go of attachments, and she follows Sant-Ma, which is a spiritual discipline. But that house is also the house that affects the immune system. So Lyme's and sleep issues were affected by that. And then you got Rahu in the house of health issues. So let's look at the timing of events. In 1987, her parents or her mom died. That was during a Rahu period, again causing huge setbacks. In 1993, she got married during a Venus period. So Venus, indicator of relationships, one of the indicators of relationships in the chart. And then around 1997, she had an album that she got the Grammy for, and Still the One, I guess, was one of the most popular songs on that. That was all during a Sun period, and Sun is, again, her strongest planet, giving her good fortune. She had a Sun in 01 during a Jupiter period, Jupiter indicator of children. She got bit by a tick and was diagnosed with Lyme's disease later in 2003. That again was during a Jupiter period, Jupiter being the prime indicator of health. And in 04, she retired due to this autoimmune disease during a Mercury period. Mercury in that sitting in the house of life-changing events, transformation. So ruling the house of career, and death, sitting in the house of death-like experiences or end of career. And then she got separated from her husband in 2008. He had an affair with her assistant during a K2 period. K2 sitting in the house of separation, indicating separation as well. 2011, she got married during a Jupiter moon period. Jupiter's husband Moon indicating life-changing experiences. In 2015, she had a farewell tour, and she was also bedridden for quite some time. And that was when Rahu and Ketu were near the rising sign degree, afflicting 6 out of her 12 houses, afflicting the house of health, of, yeah, and also the house of um, hospitalization as well. So, what could we do to improve the chart? Well, if you could help Moon, you want to transform Moon, Rahu, and Ketu. Ketu by helping spiritual organizations, and Rahu by helping those who cannot help themselves. Moon by helping women, all of which she does, involved in lots of charity work. And then you want to strengthen the rest of the planets, either with gemstones or a kavash, my favorite remedy, that contains the Devata yantras for Mercury, Jupiter, Sun, Venus, Mars, and Saturn. So, as you can see, transformational Vedic astrology is quite accurate. If you'd like to get a reading, go to vastucreations.com. If you'd like to learn Vedic astrology or Vedic medical astrology and get certified, also go to vastucreations.com under courses. Thank you so much for listening.